The greatest love story isn't finding your perfect partner, it's becoming the person worthy of the love you seek. Welcome, friends. Today, we're going to talk about something that society often frames as a problem, but I'm here to reframe as an opportunity. A season without romantic partnership isn't a waiting room for life to begin. It's a workshop where your greatest self is being forged. Look around you. We live in a world obsessed with relationships, where being single is often viewed as a temporary condition to be cured rather than a valuable state of being. But what if I told you that this season, this chapter of your life without a girlfriend, might be the most transformative gift you've ever received? I'm not here to offer quick fixes or dating strategies. I'm here to challenge you to view this season differently, to see it as sacred ground where the foundation of your future happiness is being laid, brick by brick. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wrote, "He who is his own master cannot be a slave to another." Before we seek to journey alongside another, we must first learn to walk our path with confidence, purpose, and self-mastery. This is the journey we embark on today. The greatest illusion in modern relationships is that someone else will complete you. We are bombarded with messages suggesting that our lives begin when we find the one, and that our story is somehow incomplete without a romantic subplot. This belief creates a dangerous vacuum, a void we desperately seek to fill with another person's presence. The ancient Stoics taught us that happiness must come from within, not from external circumstances we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." When we place the responsibility for our fulfillment on finding a partner, we surrender our power to circumstances beyond our control. True fulfillment begins with self-sufficiency, not the kind that builds walls against connection, but the kind that builds a foundation solid enough to support connection. Ask yourself, what parts of myself am I hoping a relationship will fix? What emptiness am I hoping another person will fill? These are not burdens for another to bear, they are invitations for your own growth. This season without a partner is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the universe creating space for you to become whole on your own terms. Every moment you spend developing yourself, your character, your mind, your purpose, is an investment in all future relationships. The Japanese concept of kintsugi teaches us that broken objects repaired with gold become more valuable, not less. Your self-repair now, this period of becoming, is creating golden seams of strength that will make you more valuable, not just to others, but to yourself. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Your relationship with yourself is the template for every relationship that follows. When you learn to provide yourself with validation, purpose, and joy, you stop seeing relationships as rescue operations and start seeing them as partnerships between two already complete individuals. Solitude has gotten a bad reputation in our hyper-connected world. We confuse being alone with being lonely, missing the profound distinction between the two. Solitude is not the absence of connection. It is a different kind of connection, one with your deepest self. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this when he wrote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." The chaos he speaks of is the necessary inner wrestling that happens when we are truly alone with ourselves, confronting our fears, examining our patterns, and questioning our assumptions. This internal work cannot happen within the constant noise of companionship. This season without a girlfriend offers you the rare gift of uninterrupted self-creation. In solitude, you discover your true voice, not the voice that seeks to please others or conform to expectations, but the authentic expression of your being. You learn what you actually enjoy rather than what impresses others. You discover your natural rhythms of creativity, rest, and productivity without accommodating another's schedule. The strongest men are not those who have never been alone, but those who have mastered being alone. They have faced the silence and found music within it. They have confronted the empty spaces in their lives and learned to fill them with purpose rather than distraction. Consider how trees that grow in harsh, solitary conditions develop the strongest roots and most resilient wood. They are tested by winds that trees in the protected forest never face. Similarly, this season is strengthening you in ways that those who move from relationship to relationship never experience. You are developing emotional muscles that will serve you for a lifetime: patience, self-reflection, independence, and inner confidence. When you eventually enter a relationship from this place of strength, you will not cling to it from desperation but engage with it from choice. You will love not because you need to be loved in return, but because you have become a person capable of giving love freely. Society has created a dangerous hierarchy where those in relationships somehow rank higher than those who are single. This unspoken caste system influences everything from holiday dinner seating to whose life advice we value. But this measurement of worth is as arbitrary as judging someone's character by their height or shoe size. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, born a slave and crippled in his youth, taught that true freedom comes from distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens, he advised. Your relationship status often falls into the category of what is not entirely within your control, but your sense of worth is fully yours to determine. Your value as a human being was established long before any potential relationship and exists independently of whether you ever have one. You were not born half-complete, waiting for someone else to validate your existence. You arrived whole, with an intrinsic worth that no relationship can enhance or diminish. Consider the absurdity of measuring a masterpiece painting by whether it hangs beside another painting. Would we question the value of Van Gogh's Starry Night if it hung alone on a wall rather than beside a companion piece? Of course not. Its worth is inherent in its existence, not in its proximity to another work of art. So it is with you. This season offers you the opportunity to establish metrics of worth that you control. Your integrity, your contribution to others, your pursuit of excellence, your compassion. When you build your identity on these foundations rather than on relationship status, you create an unshakable core that no external circumstance can threaten. Remember that many of history's greatest contributors lived without romantic partners during significant creative periods or even throughout their lives. Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, Emily Dickinson. Their legacy was not diminished by their relationship status but magnified by their focus on their unique contributions. Your worth is measured by the authenticity with which you live, not by the presence of a partner. There is a profound difference between being lonely and being alone. Loneliness is a painful awareness of disconnection, a hunger for contact that goes unfed. Being alone, however, can be a chosen state of productive solitude, a workshop for the mind and spirit. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer observed, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free." This freedom is the canvas upon which you can create the masterpiece of your life. The discomfort you may feel in solitude is not an enemy to be avoided but a teacher to be embraced. When loneliness arises, rather than immediately seeking distraction, sit with it. Ask it what it has come to teach you. Often, loneliness points to areas within ourselves that need development. Our ability to enjoy our own company, our capacity for self-entertainment, our comfort with silence. Throughout history, the greatest thinkers and creators have intentionally sought solitude. Jesus went to the wilderness for 40 days. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree. Thoreau retreated to Walden Pond. They understood that certain insights can only be gained in the absence of constant social stimulation. This season without a partner is an invitation to develop this transformative relationship with solitude. Begin to see your time alone not as a void to be filled but as a space to be utilized. Fill it with pursuits that expand your mind, challenge your body, and nurture your spirit. Learn a new language or instrument. Write the book you've always imagined. Train for a physical challenge that tests your limits. When you transform loneliness into purposeful solitude, something magical happens. You begin to attract people who are drawn to your sense of purpose rather than those who merely respond to your need. You become magnetic not because you need something from others, but because you have something to offer from the richness of your self-contained life. Relationships don't just reveal our emotional intelligence, they require it. Yet many enter relationships without having developed this critical capacity, then wonder why their connections repeatedly fail. This season without a girlfriend is the perfect laboratory for developing the emotional skills that will serve you in all future relationships. Aristotle taught that virtues are formed through practice, not theory. You wouldn't expect to play a concerto without first practicing scales, yet many expect to excel at relationships without practicing the fundamental skills of emotional management, empathy, and communication. This waiting season offers daily opportunities to develop these muscles. When disappointment strikes, rather than numbing it with distraction, practice sitting with the discomfort and processing it productively. When anger arises, explore its underlying causes rather than projecting it outward. When joy appears, savor it fully rather than diminishing it because you have no one to share it with. Pay attention to your emotional patterns. What triggers your insecurities? What situations cause you to withdraw or lash out? What unresolved wounds from past relationships or childhood still influence your reactions? This honest self-examination is much easier to conduct when you're not simultaneously managing another person's emotions and reactions. Develop the practice of self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a good friend. Research shows that self-compassion, not self-criticism, leads to greater motivation and emotional resilience. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius practiced this when he wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This balance of internal discipline and external grace creates the foundation for healthy relationships. Study relationships around you, both the healthy and unhealthy ones. What patterns lead to connection? What behaviors create distance? Become a student of human interaction, knowing that these insights will serve you when your own relationship season arrives. The emotional intelligence you develop now will not only make you a better partner in the future, but will enhance every relationship in your life, with family, friends, colleagues, and community. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are developing the skills that will allow life to flourish. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does human connection. When you chase relationships from a place of emptiness, you often end up with connections that drain rather than fulfill you. But when you build a life of purpose and meaning, you create a gravitational force that naturally draws compatible people into your orbit. The Stoic philosopher Zeno taught that happiness comes from living in agreement with nature, not forcing outcomes but aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life. This principle applies powerfully to relationships. The most meaningful connections often arrive not when we're desperately seeking them, but when we're fully engaged in living a life that matters to us. This season is your opportunity to define and pursue your vision, the impact you want to have, the person you want to become, the contribution you want to make. What problem were you born to solve? What beauty were you designed to create? What truth are you here to embody? These questions lead you toward your unique purpose. When you build your life around this vision, several things happen. First, you become too engaged in meaningful pursuit to obsess over your relationship status. Second, you develop the kind of confidence that comes only from making progress toward significant goals. Third, you naturally encounter others who share your values and interests, often the foundation for the deepest connections. Consider how differently you show up when you meet someone new from a place of purpose rather than need. Instead of subtly communicating, "I need you to complete me," you communicate, "I'm building something meaningful. Would you like to join me?" The first creates pressure. The second creates possibility. Your vision-driven life becomes a lighthouse, guiding compatible people to your shore while warning away those who wouldn't navigate well in your waters. You stop trying to be all things to all people and instead become more fully yourself, the only sustainable strategy for attracting relationships that actually fit. Remember that the quality of your life is determined not by whether you have a girlfriend, but by whether you are becoming the fullest expression of who you were created to be. That journey, that commitment to authentic growth, is what will ultimately attract not just any relationship, but the right relationship at the right time. Friends, we've covered much ground today, exploring how this season without a romantic partner can be the forge in which your greatest self is created. We've seen that true fulfillment begins with self-completion, that authentic strength is built through solitude, and that your worth exists independently of your relationship status. We've learned how to transform loneliness into purposeful solitude, how to develop emotional intelligence in the waiting season, and how to create a vision-driven life that naturally attracts meaningful connection. But perhaps the most important truth is this: the goal is not to become someone who no longer needs love, but someone who can both give and receive love from a place of wholeness rather than hunger. This journey towards self-mastery doesn't make you less human or less in need of connection. It makes you more capable of creating connections that truly nourish rather than merely distract. As you leave today, I challenge you to reframe this season. See it not as a problem to be solved, but as a gift to be unwrapped. Every day without a girlfriend is not a day wasted, but a day invested in yourself, in your growth, in your future. The ancient Greeks had two words for time: chronos, clock time, and kairos, the right or opportune moment. While you cannot control the chronos of when love arrives, you can fully embrace the kairos of this moment, the perfect time to become the person you were meant to be. Your life is not on hold. Your story is not waiting to begin. This chapter, this important, transformative chapter, is already unfolding. Live it fully, with purpose and presence. For when you do, you create not just a better future relationship, but a better present reality.